This channel might end up being considered as a Colombian fan page account, but I swear I'll cover and report about other parts about the sport. I just find it ironic that the Jhon Duran news about him potentially joining Benfica on loan for the 2026-27 campaign coming out right after I made my video about the Colombia Golden Generations was too good of an opportunity to pass up on. Jhon Duran is expected to join Benfica on loan next season, joining fellow Colombian Richard Rios after he joined on the back of the Club World Cup run he had with Palmeiras. And frankly, when I heard this news, I was very ecstatic because, one, I'm very disappointed in how the Colombian World Cup turned out, and I'm also not very happy about how the strikers performed during the tournament. And I really do have faith in Jhon Duran, and I understand that this sport is also a job. Him making sure he gets financial coverage for not just him but generations and people in his town is significantly more important than the legacy he could ever leave behind. And hopefully now that he doesn't have to worry about that, he could just focus on playing football and turn a new leaf and start this new chapter with Benfica. I can't make this video without addressing the elephant in the room. Jhon Duran has represented 6 different club teams across 6 different nations, falling out with his last 3 club teams. He also fell out with the national team a little bit over a year ago, getting to a fight with James Rodriguez and allegedly saying to the manager that he has more money than he does. But with the national team under scrutiny after the World Cup and potentially switching managers, James Rodriguez realistically on his last legs for the Colombian national team, and Colombia having clear striker problems that they need fixed, Jhon Duran may have decided to lock in. He already secured financial independence, doesn't have to worry about any of that. Now he could potentially focus on football. And what tells me about this Benfica deal also adds that Jhon Duran believes in Marco Silva's future in Benfica and that he wants to be part of this project, as he chose Benfica over 2 different teams that are competing in the Champions League. In this video, I'll cover the following topics. We will follow how Jhon Duran will fit into Marco Silva's tactics and decision making throughout the 26-27 season. If the fight between him and Pavlidis, who will be the starting striker for Benfica, and how will Jhon Duran merge into that system with Pavlidis, or if one will be playing over the other. And lastly, should Benfica purchase him at the end of the loan, how will they go at it, and will that even be a possibility at this point in time? To start, we need to understand Marco Silva's background and vision as a coach. So I'm going to focus on his time at Fulham since 2021-2022. In this season, he would lead Fulham to a first place finish in the championship with an eye-watering 106 goals in 46 matches. And throughout these 106 goals, Alexander Mitrovic would get 43 of them. And after turning Fulham from a yo-yo team in the championship and the Premier League, going up and down, they would be Premier League staples and solidify mid-table finishes throughout his campaigns there from 2022-23 season to 2025-26 season. And he would also lead Fulham to the highest point tally in team history with 54 points, solidifying that after a 3-2 victory against Brentford. Marco Silva's 4-2-3-1 isn't made to dominate possession. His 4-2-3 on the other alternative is made to have composed attacks, progressive passing, and potentially fast attacks when given the opportunity to. This is all possible because it starts with the back. It starts with the center backs and the goalkeeper. When the goalkeeper gets the ball, the center back will drop in and also create space for the 2 center mids who drop in as a double pivot. And in this opportunity, they'll either find the double pivot as they could drive the ball forward, play it out wide, play it ahead, or the center backs could bypass the center mids and find a target man like someone like Jhon Duran in this situation. And to go on to the point of Jhon Duran would take the ball, especially with more space since the 2 CDMs would have dropped in and have brought their defenders with them. This also gives Jhon Duran the opportunity to find the next crucial member in the play. This oftentimes being a center attacking midfielder or a winger or potentially an outside back depending on who's there to assist them. And once this next crucial member finds the ball, they are able to find a player who's making a run down to the byline, and as this run is occurring, the striker is able to peel off their defender as there's a significant amount of space created because they were able to drop in. And this does benefit Jhon Duran significantly, especially coming from a player who's able to play incredibly well in the Premier League, show up in the Champions League. Playing the Portuguese League will not be not to be disrespectful, but it won't be as hard as those leagues because he's physically ready and physically able to be in those positions. To start off this debate, I believe that the 26-27 season is going to be an incredibly long season for Benfica. They're obviously going to be battling for the league, but they also want to go far into the Champions League. So Jhon Duran and Pavlidis are probably going to serve different parts of the game. Jhon Duran and Pavlidis, although similar stature, play football incredibly different. Jhon Duran is significantly more direct and significantly better at just putting the ball in the goal. However, with Pavlidis, he is significantly better at playing in between the lines and holding up the ball and creating that play which Marco Silva might be looking for. Throughout Marco Silva's time at Fulham, he was very adamant on having two strikers that could do the job, with Marco Silva normally starting Raul Jimenez, but Rodrigo Muniz would come in directly in minute 66. I wonder if he will deploy a similar ideology while he's at Benfica, especially since they have a long season to play. But I believe two things will probably happen. I believe that Jhon Duran understands that he's going to be a rotational guy, especially starting out the season, as he needs to win his spot in the starting lineup. But I believe this gives opportunity to Jhon Duran to, one, enhance his abilities in between the lines and create better build-up play and be smarter as a player in that aspect, or they will be deployed in different aspects of matches. Whereas Jhon Duran will probably be put into a game where if they need a goal and they know they won't see the ball as much against potentially a better opponent in the Champions League, Jhon Duran will probably get the nod. Versus if they're playing in the Portuguese league and Pavlidis is given an opportunity to hold the ball more, to find more teammates, to find players, he will do that better than Jhon Duran. So I believe that there is definitely a season where they could coexist. However, I believe that Pavlidis will get the nod throughout the beginning portion of the season, and as things potentially get harder, Jhon Duran will get more opportunity to play and shine. Now on what probably is the hardest part about this video. Will Jhon Duran sign for Benfica for 40 million at the end of the next season? The honest answer is it's way too early to tell. Probably not the answer you're looking for, but the answer you're expecting. What we can really look at is previous signings for Benfica. Benfica signed Enzo Fernandez for 45 million euros from River Plate at the age of 21. They signed Darwin Núñez from Almeria for 35 million euros, also at the age of 21. And they signed Richard Rios last year at the end of the Club World Cup for upwards of 30 million euros. What we know about this is the fact that Jhon Duran would be on the older side. In the end of next season, he'll be 23 years old. Old in the sense of they can't really sell for potential anymore. What they have is what they got for a striker of that age. Obviously, they could improve, but Benfica would probably look to sell him the season after for upwards of 50 million euros or more, realistically. Nevertheless, I believe that it would be an incredible signing for Benfica if they are able to pull this off, but the real question is, what does Jhon Duran want? Will he be in a similar position as Marcus Rashford, as he would have to take a pay cut to join Benfica, as Rashford would have had if he joined Barcelona, but clearly didn't as he's back on Manchester United? Will Jhon Duran be willing to take that pay cut, or will he try to keep the pay he's at right now, which is just unfathomable unless if you're talking about Al Nassr? Overall, it does seem like Jhon Duran is taking the steps in the right direction, as he wants to play in the highest level and potentially want to represent Colombia again. Hopefully, we could really get this sorted out, because I would love to see him represent Italy again. But with that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys are enjoying the transfer sagas that are happening right now or have just been focusing on the World Cup, please like and subscribe for more content like this. And let me know what you guys are expecting out of the upcoming season as I make videos for later on. And I want to hear what you guys are thinking about right now. And thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe. Peace.